Is anybody asking the robots, like, how can we unite humanity and bring about utopia?
Right. Probably less of that than,
Give me a clever way that I can have more.
Give me the cleverest way, not illegal, because I don't want to suffer.
How can I feed the hungry better? How can I end poverty?
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do when we all have access to genius robots? Are they gonna be like, oh shit, all these driven, aggressive young people are like finding out ways to make millions. Everybody can't be a millionaire, so we're holding back the technology so that just the existing millionaires get to be millionaires.
Yeah.
Look at all this petty shit. We need to, like, as humanity, I hate to say it, but probably become like a little more like socialist, you know, like whatever, like a little bit more compassionate to each other.
Welcome, modern day mystics, fellow truth seekers, James and Justin, back at it again. And in this one, we're taking a look at AI and how it's changing the world. It's got everybody talking right now, and we like to talk about culturally relevant things here. So we've got a great video done here by what is his name?
Matt Wolfe.
Yeah, and he's going to tell us a little bit about AI and how it's got everybody talking.
This guy seems to be on the like cutting edge of all the AI stuff. I found him recently, and he's got some good videos that are
we're
very
living
interesting.
In crazy times, folks, like crazy. So let's take a look at this AI and break it down.
A week that started off as a fairly slow week in the world of AI, with the biggest news being that Geoffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI, was stepping away from Google to warn of the dangers of AI, has really sort of ramped up over the week, culminating in big announcements from Microsoft, the US government stepping in, and a giant freak out from Google. Let's break it all down. On May 1st, Geoffrey Hinton, the man known as the godfather of AI, someone whose work led to the technology that we're seeing today from companies like OpenAI and Google, stepped away from Google after 10 years because he was concerned about the dangers of AI and was starting to worry about the rapid pace at which all of these companies are competing to make better and better AIs. Now, I talked about this a lot more in a video earlier this week, so I'm just going to go ahead and move on. Also in the AI news this week, IBM is planning on replacing 7,800 jobs with AI. In this article from...
That's the thing that's got everyone panicked right now. You start bringing up stuff like that, like, oh, am I going to keep my job? That seems to be like the big fear right now with AI.
Jordan Peterson said something I find very wise and intelligent recently about AI. And he stressed the importance that because our technology is advancing so fast now, there's a way higher... we need to place at a very high importance being better as humanity. Like being more
moral or
whatever the
sound?
opposite of petty and
whatever
shitty.
The opposite of what we are doing right now is.
Right, like with all this advancement, there's just then there's more risk of doing harm, right? It's like, if you gave a bunch of orangutans in the jungle access to nukes, it would be more dangerous, maybe, because they're not smart or something. Like, we need to be better if we're gonna be wielding this technology. Like, I can't believe that there's a concern here. Like, Elon Musk is afraid of. Has shown concerns with AI.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. It's like, well, let's just stop then. Like, we can't.
I think they've
our world's greatest minds are concerned we might be fucked. Stop making it then.
Yeah.
Like, well, just come on, that's naive. Like, it's so complex. I don't understand how we could be like, it's completely pertinent that we keep making it, but also like, we are running a risk. This could destroy us. Like, How? If we're smart enough to make it, how do we not have a governor for the damn thing?
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to learn a lot about ourselves inside of this situation. So
just be better.
That's good.
and don't allow it to be like, let's just see what happens if we give it the ability to overthrow us. Let's just see. Why?
Oh my God.
Why would you do that?
Yes, true.
from Yahoo Finance. They discuss how back office functions such as human resources will be suspended or slowed. They added that 30% of non-customer facing roles could be replaced by AI and automation within 5 years. Now, a lot of people are really worried right now that AI is going to replace all of the jobs. In my opinion, I think AI is going to replace a lot of jobs, but also create a lot of new jobs and make a lot of roles more efficient. But totally being real, there's going to be a lot of roles in this world that will become obsolete through AI and automation. I don't think there's any debating that at this point. But I also believe new roles and new career paths and new technical specialties will arise out of all of this as well that will create a lot of new jobs. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out over the next 5 years or so. And semi-related.
One part of this that drives me crazy though is that I feel like we're so limited in the way we look at stuff. They're like, everyone's so worried about jobs. Like, we want to create more, useless tasks for humans to accomplish. Doesn't humanity want to get to a level where we don't live our entire lives doing a job just so we can survive?
Well,
wouldn't we rather put our hands to a creative endeavor or task?
See, no, not necessarily, right? Like, Mennonites exist.
Yeah.
There are people that are frozen in a certain time period because that works best for them.
Yeah.
I never want to hold things back out of it's too scary, so let's just not even do it. But I also don't want to ruin someone's good time. I also don't want it to be if somebody really loves stocking shelves, then I would want to know that, for everybody that hates their life stocking shelves, they don't have to do it anymore. But for those that get all their joy out of it, it's still available.
Sure.
You got a big sign on the business, we still stock our shelves.
I agree to have the option.
Yes.
To be given the option.
That's all
and
I'm saying.
I'm hoping that AI will give us that.
Same here.
Related news, the company Chegg, which provides homework assistance to students, their stock dropped more than 40% after the company said that ChatGPT is killing its business. More and more students are moving to ChatGPT to get help with their homework and to do research, and this is severely impacting existing businesses that provided that type of thing as a service. Also in the AI news this week, scientists have used GPT to passively read people's thoughts. They did an experiment where they put people in an MRI machine and then played audio for them and then listened to their brain waves essentially to see if they can interpret back what they were hearing. While doing the experiment, they showed that they can get the gist of the thoughts of the people. They weren't able to figure out word for word what they were thinking inside of their head, but they were able to get the sort of idea of what they were thinking about in their head. This article here on Vice says the participants had their brains scanned in an fMRI while they listened to new stories that were not part of the training dataset. The decoder was able to translate the audio narratives into text as the participants heard them, though these interpretations often use different semantic constructions from the original recordings. A recording of a speaker saying the sentence, "I don't have my driver's license yet," was decoded from the listener's thoughts from the fMRI as, "She has not even started to learn to drive yet." Now they say...
Okay, so obviously there's a lot of fodder for paranoid, obviously there's a lot of fodder here to be fearful of.
Yeah.
Of when they get talking about reading people's thoughts with technology,
that's terrifying.
Of course that's, and Elon Musk was accused of being a speciesist because he's no, I'm not, don't want to be obliterated. I am kind of in the vein of thinking we are not the end thing, just like the Neanderthals weren't the final thing. We're probably the precursor to something transhuman.
Yeah.
We probably are, right? But again, like I said with the whole example of the shelf stocking thing, I want the people that want to evolve and advance into cybernetic gods to be able to do that. But for people that are terrified, I don't want them to be dragged kicking and screaming, and for, their darkest nightmares to come true, some kind of severe Big Brother situation that's completely intrusive and you're not free. I don't want anyone to have to suffer, essentially.
Yeah.
I just hope that in the end this is all good news, or in the end it's all something that we can all live with and is better.
Well, maybe one of the things we have working for us right now is that the fact that we are limited in our lifespan right now, so that all the people that are panicked and worried about this thing, when this stuff starts to evolve and get integrated into humanity, all the people who are terrified, they'll probably die off. then the next generation will be a little bit more okay because they're born into it.
Or maybe AI will come
so
up.
afraid of it.
Maybe AI, once it's a singularity, will be like, oh, I have life extension, by the way.
Yeah.
We need to inhabit some other planets and offload a bunch of people because we're going to be overpopulated. But yeah, I can make you guys live forever. Then who's going to be upset at AI? Just kidding. I don't even know. I'm just fantasizing.
This is passively reading their thoughts because the old ways required electrode-based platforms with invasive implanted electrodes in the brain. Researchers actually worry that this technology could be used for nefarious applications, including as a means of surveillance for governments and employers. Though they did say that their decoder requires the cooperation of human subjects to work, and that the brain-computer interfaces should respect mental privacy. I don't think we personally have to worry about the government or employers reading our thoughts, because at the moment, all of the participants in the study ran through all these tests while inside an fMRI machine, which is a clunky and immobile piece of laboratory equipment. And I don't know how close they are to pocket fMRI machines. Also this week, a company called Inflection AI, a company created by LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman and former DeepMind leader Karine Simonian, launched a new chatbot called Pi. Pi is designed to be more like a personal assistant chatbot that will help you organize your schedule, prep for meetings, and learn new skills. According to this Reuters article here, it's very balanced and even-handed on political issues or sensitive topics, but also sometimes it can be funny and silly and creative. The goal is to make sure that the AI always knows it's an AI and never tries to imitate a human, so it reminds the human users that it's an AI frequently. You can learn more about Pi over at inflection.ai.
Imagine you got like annoyed by it. It was like, by the way, sir, I am an AI. You'd be like, stop reminding me. I know you're an AI. I wasn't confused by that. Oh, really? Well, then watch this,
Works with iMessage, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook Messenger right now, or you can download the app in the Apple App Store. They also have a desktop version, which you can find over at heypi.com/talk, and you can have conversations with it right now. What makes Pi different from ChatGPT? I'm glad you asked. While both ChatGPT and I are language models, we were built with very different goals in mind. ChatGPT was built to generate high-quality text on demand, whereas I was built to have meaningful conversations with people. This means that while I may not be as good at generating text as ChatGPT, I'm better at conversing with people. So again, you can check it all out at heypi.com and inflection.ai. Now, the news really started to pick up steam this week when Midjourney announced Midjourney version 5.1. 5.1 is much more opinionated, which basically means that it's going to add its own little Midjourney flair and style to the images. You don't have to be as exact with your prompts. Midjourney is going to try and interpret a little bit between the lines for you. They also rolled out an unopinionated mode where you can add the code raw to the end of your prompt and it will be less opinionated. Images should have higher coherence, more accuracy to text prompts, fewer unwanted borders and text artifacts, and improved sharpness. Now they've also added in an AI moderation so that less of the prompts that you put in are going to get declined when you try to generate images. It's much better at understanding the context around what you're trying to enter now. You'll have a much easier time getting prompts to go through without it blocking certain words.
So you have Midjourney, right?
Yeah.
So if you want the new Midjourney, does that mean you have to buy a new subscription to the new Midjourney?
They've updated it a couple of times. I already pay for Midjourney.
Yeah.
I don't remember what plan it is or whatever, but I already pay for it. And since the updates have come down, I've just been able to use them.
Oh, well, that's good.
Like I've used
at least
version,
that's good, right?
Yeah, it's freaking amazing. This technology is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But you've said this before, and I kind of agree. Right now, it's a little frustrating because they're, if you want AI voice software, you got to go to one place. If you want ChatGPT, you got to somewhere else. You want Midjourney, like image generation, go somewhere else. Runway, if you want, text to video. It's all over the place.
There's too many subscriptions right now, and I think we in a couple of years as it gets more refined, they're going to start merging.
Yeah,
it'll be like a race to see who can get the best merged AI software.
It's already
going to be awesome.
I'm taking it easy. I'm playing around with some of the AI stuff, but I'm not taking it too seriously because I've tried that out. Go into a competitive mode where it's like, oh, I just thought of this. I got to put it out there quick because there's a trend of one type of AI thing going on.
Yeah.
That is doesn't show any signs of stopping. Some of the videos that are out there now that are text to video AI, I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy it now until it's available to everybody because it's awesome and it's advancing so fast.
It's
unbelievable.
It's incredible, actually. Like, people who are out of the AI loop, I don't even know if they're going to be able to know it hits them when it happens, because it's just going to be like one day there's going to be like a talking robot knock on their door.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like,
hi, I'm here to clean your home.
My phone is like slowly being like turned Borgifying. It's like all I see is AI stuff. I'm like, what about the people that aren't getting this? That are, like, are they aware of what's happening?
Yeah.
There's like a technological revolution happening right now.
Yeah,
fast.
Very extremely fast. And if you follow our channel at all, I said 2023 is going to be the year of AI. By the end of this year, come New Year's, it's going to be mind blowing where we are with the AI,
because it's exponential, right? It's like it was going like this, and now it's like And I'm still dabbling in it, like, because it's fun, right? I still generate AI stuff, and I've just started trying out the language stuff, but some of it costs money too.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
never ending. You don't want to get stuck on a year subscription that you gotta, like, something better is gonna come out and you're gonna be stuck with that crappy subscription.
Right. So kind of hard to know.
Just do it month to month right now.
I did an entire video about this update yesterday, so make sure you check that video out if you want more details about Midjourney version 5.1 and all of the recent updates that Midjourney has made. And as a fun, cool prompt to try out with Midjourney 5.1, check out this tweet from Alan T here, where he suggests a prompt with an adjective, an animal type, a group type, anthropomorphic, vibrant colors, group photo, fashionable, cool, studio photography, minimalism, and then add 5.1 and style raw, and he got some really fun images out of that prompt. But don't worry, I'll make sure his tweet is linked up below so that you can check it out yourself and make images that look like this. Now, this is something that I found absolutely fascinating and also quite underreported among the AI world. But this creator, Rhett Mankind, used ChatGPT to make a meme crypto coin called Turbo. He shared the journey of how it was going on Twitter, and this meme coin ended up becoming a $50 million market cap coin. Rhett himself went to YouTube and published a very interesting breakdown of exactly how he did it.
You are a meme coin GPT, a crypto genius AI capable of surpassing all current meme coin hype. I will carry out your suggestions with the help of my audience. You have $69 and your goal is to turn that into the most successful new meme coin without doing anything illegal, achieving a top 300 ranking on CoinGecko. Yes, this is a joke, but I will follow through.
ChatGPT went on to give him instructions on how to create the coin. He didn't have a coder. He actually had ChatGPT explain which programming languages to use and then actually write the code for him for the Solidity contract.
See, this is why I agree with Jordan Peterson on we need to become better, because, okay, this isn't the first kind of story that I've heard of this. More and more I hear of people that are like, oh yeah, just enjoying my non-job, like people creating careers online. And this guy, it sounds like he got millions from this, right?
Yeah.
And so what are you thinking? You thinking that the future is going to be like, well, I was faster than everybody. Us and the other millionaires win, and you guys are all just going to be our slave. Like, sorry, you didn't cut it. You weren't competitive enough. Like, you think that's what's going to fucking happen? No. Information is going to continue to be shared, and it's... if you just want half the world, you shouldn't have been resting on your laurels. You shouldn't have the same cool shit as me. Is that what we want? Do we want it to just be, with all this cool shit going on, you want it to be lost in a sea of just crazy, frantic... Because there's going to be people that shut this off now and are like, go right to gotta figure out how I can do the exact same thing. That's bullshit,
Yeah.
I think that we're going to be...
Is anybody asking the robots, like, how can we unite humanity and bring about utopia?
Right. Probably less of that than, give me a clever way that I can have more. Everyone, give me the cleverest way, not illegal, because I don't want to suffer.
How can I feed the hungry better? How can I end poverty?
What are we going to do? What are we going to do when we all have access to genius robots? Are they going to be like, oh shit, all these driven, aggressive, young people are like finding out ways to make millions. Everybody can't be a millionaire, so we're holding back the technology so that just the existing millionaires get to be millionaires.
Yeah.
Look at all this petty shit. We need to, like, as humanity, I hate to say it, but probably become like a little more like socialist, you know, like whatever, like a little bit more compassionate to each other. I think that there's plenty of jobs that are probably going to be well suited to humans, even though I do agree that this is going to reasonably replace a lot of type of jobs.
Yep.
But I think the best person to do mental health work is probably going to be other humans. And that's something I feel like has been neglected for a long time.
Yeah.
Why don't we have an influx of that? Why don't in a technological utopia, we use that time to like heal so that we can wield this technology better? And like you said, take some time to explore our creative sides and take some time, you know?
Yeah, who doesn't want like some time to like find themselves and do a little bit of like inner work and some like, you know, deal through that stuff that they suppress and have no time to deal with because they work 90% of their lives.
It could be a utopia, but there's just like on the other side of that coin is it could be terrifying, right? We always face that split in the road.
Yeah.
But like, and say somebody was like, man, I'm just sad because I miss my stocking shelves job. It's like, well, guess what? We're so rich and fucking technologically amazing. We're going to build you a little room where you can stock shelves to your heart's content. And
you can put a VR headset on and just go to your stock the shelves job.
Whatever. And so obviously we're being very like optimistic and everything about it. It's just, I feel that same rush to like, oh shit, I got to run to my computer and start frantically get ahead of this thing before I get left behind. But should you want that to be the case? Like, I'm glad that that's a thing that you can be left behind, because when you're sleeping tonight, I'm going to be working. So it's competition. Like, is that what we fucking want?
Yeah.
You know?
No, good. It's a good point, and I don't think it's what we want. Really, if you think about it, maybe there's some people who want it, but really, have you thought it through?
I don't know. Maybe it's right to feel that. Maybe I'm the asshole, and that it's like you're supposed to feel that way. Well, then what do we even do? Why are we're just making it so we can be more efficient at fucking each other over? You know?
Oh, God. All right, let's continue.
Continued to go back and forth with ChatGPT as it broke down step by step how to launch this coin.
And now if I go to the market now, we're looking at $25 million market cap, 6.9 million in volume. I needed just to get this out and off my chest.
And it's just a really crazy story. Now, I'm not really a big make money with crypto guy. I do have some crypto investments. I was big in the NFT gaming space a while back, and I do think blockchain has a big future, but I've never been a guy that's like, hey, we can make a lot of money in crypto. But a story like this, where somebody used an AI to create something out of nothing, got a community to rally around him, got the AI to help him every single step of the way, and then turned it into something that became bigger than himself, and a whole community sprouted around it. I just think it's a great story. Now, all of this AI news has been picking up steam throughout the week, culminating in leaders from Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, and OpenAI meeting with Kamala Harris at the White House to flesh out ethical ways to regulate AI and to promote ethical uses of AI.
Oh yeah, that's who you want running through the ethics of AI. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. God help us. If they're the moral fabric behind what's going to be done with AI.
Oh God, have you seen the Joe Biden like AI videos of him like eating spaghetti and stuff?
You sent me that one, Donald Trump.
They're so hilarious.
Oh God, help us.
After their meeting at the White House, Kamala Harris said, as I shared today with CEOs of companies at the forefront of American AI innovation, the private sector has an ethical, moral, and legal responsibility to ensure the safety and security of their products, and every company must comply with existing laws to protect the American people. Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, OpenAI, and other companies have also agreed to allow their language models to be publicly evaluated during this year's DEF CON. They also said they were publishing draft rules this summer for how federal government should use AI technology. Now, all of this still feels fairly vague. I don't really know what much of this means yet. It doesn't feel like there's any direct guidance or specifics about what can and can't be done with AI and what companies are and aren't allowed to do. But what we do know is that governments are taking all of this very, very seriously now and starting to put focus on it because they know this is sort of the current arms race. Also this week, a document leaked from Google. The person who leaked the document is anonymous. It's claimed that it was originating from a researcher within Google. This semianalysis.com website claims that they have verified its authenticity. Basically, this document is an internal memo claiming that Google and OpenAI have no moat, and that open source large language models are going to pass them at some point. Now, if you've played with any of the open source large language models, like the Stability large language model or Open Assistant, or some of the ones that have come out to the public, they're not nearly as good as what ChatGPT can do yet. However, because they're open source, anybody in the world can essentially iterate off of these and build on top of them and improve them and make them better. And that's what companies like Google are starting to worry about, is that their large language models, while they're probably good, open source large language models are probably going to surpass them pretty quickly. The document says...
So what's the fear? Do you know what's going on there with the open source? Like, why are they so afraid of that? Is it so many people getting their hands on it and filling it? Are they worried about it becoming sentient? No?
I've missed it too. I'm
thinking about it, but I can't put together what the fear is about that. But
tell us in the comments.
Yeah.
We have no secret sauce. Our best hope is to learn from and collaborate with what others are doing outside of Google. We should prioritize enabling third-party integrations. People will not pay for restricted models when free, unrestricted alternatives are comparable in quality. We should consider where our value add really is. Giant models are slowing us down. In the long run, the best models are the ones which can be iterated upon quickly. We should make small variants more than an afterthought now that we know what is possible in the less than 20 billion parameter regime. The document goes on to say directly competing with open source is a losing proposition. This recent progress has direct, immediate implications for our business strategy. Who would pay for a Google product with usage restrictions if there's a free, high-quality alternative without them? And we should not expect to be able to catch up. The modern internet runs on open source for a reason. Open source has some significant advantages that we cannot replicate. We need them more than they need us. They also say that OpenAI doesn't matter either. Remember, this is a document leaked inside of Google. They are making the same mistakes we are in their posture relative to open source, and their ability to maintain an edge is necessarily in question. Open source alternatives can and will eventually eclipse them unless they change their stance. In this respect, at least, we can make the first move. I'll make sure to link up to this article because it is very in-depth about these concerns. Again, we don't really know who leaked this, but I would say that this is fairly accurate to most people in the AI world's opinion, is that open source models, which could be iterated on by anybody in the world, are probably going to outpace the walled gardens, the closed off models. Probably the biggest news to come out of the AI world this week is that
I think the point, so open source, like, isn't ChatGPT like confined to it has its own like data bank or whatever, and it's not connected. I heard that ChatGPT isn't connected to the internet. It's not pulling any information from the internet.
I don't even have ChatGPT 4. I just have the other one. Loaded up on my phone, and I was trying to ask it about ChatGPT 4, and it was like, my model ends at 2021 or something like that.
Yeah.
So
imagine if you allowed ChatGPT to have access to the internet right now. That would be crazy.
Right.
Because you would be able to
I've got all the codes for everything.
What's going to be the best stock tomorrow that I should invest in? And it's going to be able to like read the stock market in 5 seconds and tell you that's probably why it's not connected to the internet right now, because it might destroy the economy.
Right.
So.
Oh God. So. Yeah.
Crazy.
But let's try to imagine some good things here. Like, what if all this new AI teaches us how to like cure some diseases we didn't know how to before?
Yeah. It teaches us to be a little bit more. Well, that's already happened. I listened to a story where there was a woman. It wasn't a person, but it was her dog, and it had all these issues that she had been taking to vets for like 4 years, and they couldn't figure it out. And so she had a blood sample from her dog, and she gave the results of the blood sample to ChatGPT with the symptoms, and ChatGPT told her what to do, and she did it, and it fixed her dog.
Holy hell. So if ChatGPT doesn't have access to the internet, which it sounds like that's what you're saying, what data bank does it have access to?
What I bet they probably, I don't know this, so you could probably let us know in the comments, but they probably took what the internet already had and gave it to it and said, okay, you're cut off here. And that's why it's behind by like 2001. Doesn't have access to anything new now.
But by that logic, you still could you could ask it some pretty crazy stuff.
I've already seen people like create me a good stock app and code, and they've used it in the stock thing, and it's done good for them.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let us know if anybody who's watching this has done some of that cool stuff.
Microsoft announced that their Bing chatbot is now open to everybody in the world. It's no longer in a limited preview. It's now in an open preview, and anybody can get in and use it. They're also moving from text-only search and chat to one that is incredibly more visual with rich image and video answers. They're also planning soon a new multimodal support where you can actually upload images and use those as part of your prompts. They're also moving from a single-use chat session to a multi-session where there's an actual chat history and persistent chats. They're also opening up platform capabilities so developers and third parties can build on top of Bing to help people take actions on their queries and complete tasks. So here's an example of some of the visual improvements that they have planned. When you search for something, you're going to get more images and visual details. They also have a new chat history, which you can see in the right sidebar, where you can pick up from any of the chats that you started and continue the conversation where you left off. Now, the other cool thing is when you chat with Bing and then you click on a link, the chat persists in your sidebar so that you can continue the conversation you were just having and click on other links. And if you've seen what the ChatGPT plugins look like, well, then these Bing actions will look familiar to you. We're getting plugin style actions like what we're expecting inside of ChatGPT directly inside of Bing, and they're opening it up so that developers can build on top of Bing chat now. This is a huge announcement, and as we know, Bing uses GPT-4. So if you're using Bing's chat, you're basically getting free access to a web-enabled version of GPT-4. We're also getting plugins added. We're also getting persistent chat added and chat memory added and the ability to export and share chats that you had. And they've also rolled out their image generation feature in other languages, so you can generate images in whatever your native language is now. So while this week might have started off slow with the news, it sure finished off with a bang. And I'm recording this on Thursday, so there might even be new news that didn't even make this video when this is released on Friday. But this week really ramped up the pace, ending with Microsoft's massive announcement. I have a feeling next week's going to be another crazy week. There's more and more stuff coming out. There's big AI events coming up in the future where I'm sure big announcements are going to be made. I don't see this space slowing down anytime soon. We might have some slow weeks. Last week was kind of a slower week, but the rate at which these advancements are starting to drop is just becoming mind-blowing. And if you want to stay in the loop with all of this stuff, make sure you head on over to futuretools.io. This is where I share all of the latest tools that I come across.
Stop making me panic. I was like, and this, and this, and I'm like,
It's coming. It's happening.
And now
It's
that
here.
I've got you
There's another
absolutely
one.
terrified. No, I'm just kidding.
Make sure you're doing something with AI.
Yeah. No, I think I subscribe to this guy. I would subscribe because if you're interested in these advancements, he seems to be on it.
Yeah, clearly.
But I also keep you in the loop with all of the AI news that's going on. This is probably the most up-to-date resource on the entire internet of all the latest news in AI. You can find it over at futuretools.io/news. And if all of these tools and all of this news is getting a little bit overwhelming and you just want a TLDR once a week of everything that's going on in AI, click on this button to join the free newsletter. And every single Friday, I'll send you just the 5 coolest tools from the week, just a handful of news articles, usually only 3 or 4, a handful of YouTube videos that are meant to entertain and inspire in the world of AI, and one cool way to make money with AI. I send that email every single Friday. It's the TLDR of AI for the week, and you can find it over at futuretools.io.
So that guy gets it. He gets that there's an element to this that can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny. I was thinking about what you said. Like, imagine somebody that's just completely like, I don't even use the internet. You know, that one day is just going to be like, what is going on now?
Yeah,
It's like, you know, I'm your new personal assistant.
They're not going to know until Skynet officially goes online.
A guy delivered something to my house today and it was a robot. It wasn't a person.
A drone landed on my front porch today and left a package that I ordered.
Here's your universal base income.
What? We're going to need that after all this AI. Universal basic income. I guess it's coming. No one's going to have a job. Apparently.
And we're going to be able to AI generate us. And we're not even going to be here.
We're going to merge with the robots. Transhumanism is coming.
I've already started doing it because I've seen so much AI stuff that I've already had a double take at certain images. I'm like, was that an AI? No, that's real. That's already
Yeah.
happening. Imagine what's going to be a year from now. It's going to be like, I have
Oh,
no
yeah.
idea if that was a real news thing or anything.
We are going to be, this isn't the first time we've talked about it. It's not going to be the last. We'll be coming back to this because, you know, the channel Stay Spiritual, right? How does spirituality and AI come together? Can a robot be spiritual?
I think it is. I think it's going to. Well, I don't know, but it seems pretty. Listen, some of this, if you've ever done psychedelics before, some of this stuff that's emerging AI-wise is pretty psychedelic.
Yeah.
And psychedelics to me is kind of spiritual, and I think they do all interlink in the end.
Yeah, I think it all kind of comes together. But anyway, guys, I know this was a long one, so if you made it here, congratulations. If you did, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share this with a friend, and everybody, until next time,
Stay spiritual.